Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. Of course, I'm with Originator Success here with your daily rate lock conversation. The only place on the web where you guys get to be part of the conversation. Your morning mortgage rate update. Remember, you can join me live each and every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. If you're here live, say good morning. If you're watching on the replay, go ahead and give us a hashtag replay. Don't forget to smash that like button, tag an LO friend, share us in a group. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and give us a thumbs up as well as subscribe. All right, so today we got a lot to talk about. This morning, we've got the Fed meeting happening this afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We've got the Fed Powell press conference at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Mortgage-backed securities are actually doing pretty well to start the morning this morning. Right now, mortgage bonds up about 14 basis points on the day. That means rate sheets should be just slightly better than where we were yesterday. If we go ahead and dig in a little bit, let's see if we can slide over. Take a look here at the 48-hour chart. Yesterday was a pretty quiet day. Things were pretty settled in. Mortgage bonds bounced around a little bit here. We didn't get a positive reaction to that CPI inflation data that we talked about yesterday. This morning, we had the producer price index data come out, the wholesale inflation at 8:30. You could see here really no movement. We were up and down a little bit after that, but really no reaction to that wholesale inflation data this morning either. 10-year Treasury yield 4.17. That is lower than yesterday's 4.22, 4.23-ish, but not enough to get excited about. We do have some resistance at 4.11. Remember, if we draw a line here at 4.11, today will be a day to see if we break through that technical resistance. So anyway, let's go ahead and say good morning to those of you that are here live. Love having you here. We've got Sheila Garcia. Good morning. How are things in Tennessee, Ms. Garcia? We got Mike Tebow, Eric McDonald on Facebook, on YouTube. Good morning, Eric. Scott Mincer, Ryan Larson, Deb Dickinson, Uman, Chris. Great to see all of you here. Bobby Searson, Mike Morano, Tom Dedmore. Great to have you guys here as well. So hope all is going well these days, my friends. Remember, you can go ahead and sign up for our written email lock advice, www.ratelockadvice.com. You can sign up for our text alerts, www.ratetextalerts.com. Today's a good day to make sure you get our text alerts. We'll be sending them out this afternoon, keeping you updated on what's going on in that Fed meeting as well. Last but not least, check us out at originatorssuccess.com. Although I love talking about rates and pricing each and every day, what we really do here is help you get loans from Google and social media. Learn all about it. Go to our website. Check us out, originatorssuccess.com, and find out more on how we can help you there. So what else do we got going on this morning, my friends? Oh, also, I got to throw it in there. You can sign up for the live text alerts now too, but I did get those sent out again today. Woohoo! So those are getting around. My advice, though, cautiously floating. Let me go ahead and cautiously float. I don't think the Fed meeting is going to help us today, but let's keep our options open for now. All right, so got to tell y'all, I think that this rally that we have been experiencing, I think that it is finding the end of the line here. Good morning, Ron Siegel. Good morning, Denise. Robert Reynolds, good morning. I am definitely concerned that we are at the end of the line here. I'm going to throw some headlines up and kind of show you guys where my head is at these days on this and what we got going on. So come on, turn this back on. All right. So again, lock advice remains cautiously flow only because all of this stuff is going to happen at the end of the day. We're going to get that Fed meeting here. So I think what's going to happen is at 2 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to get the Fed policy statement. I think that as expected, there is almost no probability that we're going to see the Fed hike rates. So I think for the third consecutive meeting, we will see the Fed keep rates exactly the same. I don't think they're going to raise rates. I think that the highest mortgage rates are behind us because the Fed is done raising rates for this round. Remember, they started raising rates back in March of 2020. 2. So it's been a lot of hiking. However, expectation of a Fed rate hike in March, markets still pricing in about a 45% expectation that they think, that we're going to see that start in March. I think this is going to take a blow today. I think that this belief that the market has that the Fed is going to be more likely to cut rates as soon as March, I think it's going to get pushed back. I think that we're going to see momentum move in the direction that maybe those rate cuts start in May. Possibly even in June, but probably May. And I think that Fed Chair Jerome Powell today, he's going to come out there and he's going to, really share that same message that they've been sharing. Fed Reserve is set to hold rates steady for a third consecutive meeting with the expectation that it'll push back against the ramped up bets on cuts to come next year. Remember, just in the last couple of weeks have we really seen that momentum rise that the Fed was going to cut rates in March. And Bill Ackman had kind of promoted that. A lot of people jumped on that bandwagon. Before that, we were watching markets vacillate between May and June on when we think we'd see that first rate cut. And that markets are basically pricing in 3 cuts for next year. We're going to get the Fed dot plot this meeting. So the members are going to release where do they think rates will be at the end of the year for 2024, 2025, 2026. And it's very likely that the Fed is going to be a lot less eager to show rate cuts than markets are. The Fed was, basically holding this line of longer, hold higher for longer. Markets are looking for, faster and deeper as far as rate cuts. And it's not poised to happen. Remember, we were looking for 3 events over the last week. Last week's jobs data needed to show softening. That was a whiff. We missed on that. The jobs data did not come in favorably. We did not get any help to rates from that. That was the first swing and a miss. Second at bat, yesterday's CPI inflation report came in as expected, which was not what markets wanted. They wanted to be impressed. They wanted to be surprised. They wanted a Christmas miracle. It didn't happen. That's 2 out of 3 that we've whiffed. I've explained to you guys before. I look at this like math. If we had seen a swing and a hit, if we had a home run for the labor market, if we had a home run with the CPI, we'd have a home run when it comes to this Fed meeting, right? Good plus good equals good. Good plus good jobs meaning good CPI data equals good Fed reaction. However, whiff plus whiff equals whiff. This meeting, I think we're going to see a hawkish Fed. They're going to come out today and they're going to say, hey, we have not seen enough signs that inflation is improving. We are still committed to inflation going to 2%. I think Powell is going to come out and he's going to emphasize, he's going to say it's too early to speculate on when rate cuts may start to materialize, and instead emphasize a desire to stay on hold and continue assessing on how this is all playing out. So good morning, Pat Tenney. Great to see you here. Ed Zuliger, good morning. Mike Tebow said, does the dot plot include all the Fed members or just the voting members? That is all the Fed members, Mike. I think it's 19 of them. It's either 18 or 19. I don't remember the exact number, but that is all of them. And it's anonymous. We don't get to see how they vote, but we'll see that there. And Mike said, does the Fed meet every 8 weeks? It's more like every 6 weeks. They don't meet once a month. And then as far as those Fed meetings, Mike, we've got today is December 13th. This is the December meeting. The next meeting is in about 6 weeks. It's at the end of January, January 31st. Then we've got one March 20th. Then we have one May 1st, June 12th, July 31st, the 18th of September, the 7th of November, and the 18th of December. So that's when we're going to see those meetings. If we don't get some kind of Hail Mary today that makes things better, again, we're cautiously floating with the idea that I think we're going to need to lock. All right. So if this was coming out, if the Fed was meeting first thing in the morning before we could react, I would have been in a locking stance for loans closing within 30 days. However, we want to cautiously float. If I can't tell you what's going to happen. We can't really forecast. I think what's going to happen is Powell's going to come out. He's going to emphasize, like I said, that he thinks that things are not yet ready to speculate that we're going to see rate cuts. And I don't think markets are going to love it. I don't think they're going to blow up. I don't think we have to worry about rates jumping up from here. But what happens is I think that this rally has stalled. I think we've hit the wall. And I don't think we're going to see things improve. Now, see, why don't they have, is it today's mortgage rates? Why do they not have the daily rate index? They don't have that when it's in the small version, when I'm in the lower window. So anyway, right here, 7.09, 7.10, 7.09. This is what I think is happening. I think we're stagnating. I think they've stalled. I think the improvements have stalled. Because of that, I'm going to be more in a locking stance for loans closing near term. We got the holidays coming. Things get a little bit, chaotic. Markets get lower volume. You see more jumping around back and forth. There's really no strong reason to be floating unless we're going to float into January's jobs data, January CPI. Remember, we're basically going to relive the same thing that we lived this last week. We're going to just the next episode, right? So if we look at the BLS numbers on January 5th here, we get the employment situation, which is all the jobs data. And then on the 11th, we get the consumer price index, which is the inflation reading. So that's kind of what I think we're just going to be for the next few weeks. We're just going to be kind of stalled. I don't think you're going to see rates improve much. Locking is just a good move because it minimizes the risk. Again, so we're going to cautiously float into today. Let's see where the markets go. Right now, bonds doing okay. 10-year treasury yield 4.17. The 6.0, 100.94, up about 14 basis points. We're well within all of the technical levels here. We're touching back towards the higher end. Things are gonna, we're gonna be there. So Ron pointed out that the Fed has said they are done with they've never said they're done with the increases. Do you think that might be a part of today's statement? No. I think, Ron, what they're going to say today with their statement is they'll make very much that same comment of that everything is data dependent, that they're going to continue to sit back and wait, and that they don't, that if inflation, remember last time this happened in the 70s, inflation started to tick back up and the Fed had to come in and start raising rates again. They want to avoid that situation, but they won't be afraid to say that they would take that situation. So I don't think that they'll commit to being done raising rates. They're going to say that they're continuing to hold. They're going to wait and see, data dependent, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to get a lot of that stuff. But the bottom line is I do not think that this meeting is going to be good for interest rates. For those not on Barry's site, what do they look at to know whether to lock or float? I don't know where to go with the other. For those not on Barry, what do they look at to know whether to lock or float? Well, hopefully me. I've got my daily lock advice, that whole big thing that I write every day that says lock or float. It has that kind of that meter here. Let's see if I can just move this over here. Like that whole thing that says, hey, lock, float. Like there's that. I don't know, our rate text alerts for $7 a month, but also you got MBS Live. If you're looking for other services, MBS Live, you can make that decision, and get real-time data. I would avoid Rate Alert. I'm not a fan anymore. Remember, I helped start that site. I helped take it live and everything. But I don't like it anymore. So at 2 p.m. when the Fed makes the announcement, Mike, I send out the text alerts for, we send out, again, that's part of the reason why you want to go ahead and sign up. There you go. Ron Siegel says you get those hammer text messages, baby. That's what we do. I'll be sending one out right around 2:05 when we see where things are headed. And then again, usually around 2:50, 2:45, 2:50, between then and 3:00, depending on where that Fed meeting is going. That's what we do is we send out those text alerts. So that's it, my friends. Thank you, Ron. Appreciate your support. Ron said for $7 a month, you can't beat it. Even if it was $10 a month, you couldn't beat it, but I'm not raising the price. Don't y'all worry. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up, y'all. We'll see what the meeting brings today. Thank you again for joining me. Remember, you can join me live each and every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Don't forget to sign up for those live text alerts. If you'd like those, got those going out now. So I'm excited about that. Oh, Mike said I was giving you an opportunity to plug our texts. I got you. Mike was setting me up for the softball. Thank you, Mike. I got you. So I'll throw it on the screen for anybody. our whopping $7 a month text alert. So thank you all. Appreciate you. And y'all have a fantastic day. We'll be here tomorrow to talk about how the dust settles, where things go from there. If we did get a Hail Mary from Powell, I don't think it's going to happen. I think that this press conference is going to look like the Carolina Panthers offense, and it's going to be anemic and no touchdowns. But, hey, we got to keep our options open, right? So, all right, my friends, I'll see y'all later. Make it a fantastic day. Bye-bye.